Hello and welcome to Victor Shamaki, and today we're going to be discussing church media. So today we're going to look at how to use the Bible show. So we're going to run an overview of the Bible show and all that you need to do with it. So we'll subsequently be using it for other sources. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to start from the very basic. I've uninstalled the one in my system, so we're going to do it together from beginning to the end. So without any further ado, let's get started. So first and foremost, you search for Bible Show. So I have a link, just bibleshow.net/download.pnp. But you just once you search Bible Show, you will definitely see the Bible Show. It's actually a free software, free. It's not like Easy Worship and the rest that you have to commit some commitment fee. This is free and it's very, very. I won't say any much. Let's get into it. All right. So once you are on that download page, you're going to see the download button. Now, these are the various versions. We have version 5.4, 5.3, and 4.0. Now, this is the current version. I think the last it was updated was 2020. You can see the date here. All right. So this one's 2015, 2019, and 2020. So you just click on the download button, and it will download. So it's just approximately how many MB? 19 megabyte. So it's not something to worry yourself about. So once it download, I will just click on the download details here and just click on the folder. So here is it. So I'm just going to right click and open run as administrator. Now it's running, and then I'm going to click next, click agree, click install, and click finish. Then I'll automatically run it. All right, because there's a check button there that says run. Okay, so it starts with it release no, just some details, blah blah blah, which I'm not going to go into that detail. Let's just cancel that and focus on our program here. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to look at how to set up the whole thing. Now, once you install this software, what you need to do is to configure the settings. So we have the theme tab, we have the which we're in now, we have the configure tab, we have the preference and the Bible. So this covers the entire settings of this whole software. So we're just going to go to configure. Now in configure, it's currently display. All right, so on display, now depending on how the output you want to have, if you're using an NDI output, because you're not sending this to window directly, so you just uncheck the display and check the NDI output so that allow you to go through NDI. So it's showing that NDI is the video monitor. So you come down here to appearance, and then you change the settings, the horizontal resolution to 1920, 1920, 1920, and you change this to 1080p, 1080, right? So now, if you preview this, you will see how it's going to come. So this is like a full screen, right? So that is that on that side. So on the aspect ratio, you leave virtually everything the way it is, so that you don't just temper with other things, so that you know how. You see, like now, if I click on the match reference with best, now this is how it appears mostly on Easy Worship. So, but here it puts the reference up. So if you want them to be together, like the one of Easy Worship, all you need to do is to match reference with verse. All right, so you note that if you don't want it, you leave it the way it is, but if you want to match them together, then you do it like this, which sound cool for me. All right, and then verse aspect, if you want to split long text, like when it is the text is very long, you can split them, like you split them maybe to another, all of that, so you can split them. And then you can also the length, So look at the length. You see, when it is so word, so word, you define how long is this length for it to be splitted. Okay? So, but we're not going to use that. Let me see if we have any long passage. Which is it? Okay, let's use this Genesis. So let's click on split verses. So they're asking us how long is the word. Now you see, as I reduced it, you see that it has splitted and turning it to Genesis chapter 1 verse 11a. Okay, verses 11a. So when I go next, it will now show 11b. So this is a very cool feature. Very, very cool feature. I've not seen it. I don't know whether it's available on Easy Worship, but I have not seen it. So when you split the long verses, it enables so that you don't have to stretch the words. So you divide it to what? Genesis chapter 1 verse 11a and 11b. So all you need to do is to switch between up and down. All right, switch between up using your arrow and down. This is 11a, 11b. So that's what this feature does. So when you say join short verses, let's remove split now. Join short verses. So how short is this verses? So let me see. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So when we say join, is there any short verse? Let's see. There's no any short verse that is. Well, so it can join short verses together. So it has a cool feature. Then emphasize words of Christ. So anytime there is a word with Christ, let's say in the New Testament now. So let's say there's any words of Christ, there will be emphasis on it. So let's look at Matthew chapter 5. Let's see. Any words of Christ, let's say verse 1, for example. So let's keep going and see if there's any words of Christ. And he opened his mouth and taught them, blessed are the poor in spirit. But this is Christ speaking. I don't know what he means by that emphasis. Okay, so you have to change color. Oh, okay. So you have to be the one that will do the settings. So I'm going to make this more red and I'll click OK. So if there is any words of Christ in it, it's going to place emphasis. But these are all Jesus Christ words. But I don't know why I'm not seeing the emphasis. Well, we're just going. So let's keep going. We're just reviewing everything. All right. I'm literally new into the software too. I'm liking the future anyway. I just saw it and I decided to. So now that is that you can do with the aspect. You can match scripture, the Bible verse with the reference. You can also change the text form and all of that. And then you can also split long text. You can, this emphasis. And then you can highlight selected text. So if I select a text, it should highlight it. Okay. So it's cool. Like once I highlight a text, it's going to, maybe there's an emphasis here. So I just highlight, ye are the light of the world. Let's say my scripture passage is coming from there. So when you project this, it will definitely also be seen on the projector and anything you're sending this to. Well, let's move on. Under transition, we have the effect. So if you want it to fit in, you see the way it fits in. If I want it to flip, it just flips. Let's say you just click the scripture, it just flips. Or you say radiation. Anything you change here will determine how the scripture enters in the beginning and what it does at the end. So it also has the ending part. So if I say ending part should be random, it just chooses anything. So let's put this one to be random also, and then the ending part random. So at the end of the day, all of these are some of the cool things you can do with it. So copyright. Now the copyright, you see that it's written King James, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So it's a King James version Bible. So it just write that for you. I don't think there's anything you're really going to do there. Is maybe just make some changes to where the copyright and all of that and all of that. So that's that for that. So background now, which is one of the things that actually discouraged me from not really coming to use this software. Like I was asking, say, no, you can't change background. You can change background very effectively, even more easier than Easy Worship. So you have, once you click on the background, you have the color. So this color, any color you change here will come on it as your color of, you understand? If you have pictures you want to bring, so you just click on pictures and then you click on browse. It's going to take you to folder, and then it had its own default ones that came with it. But if you're not interested in any of their own, you have your own. So you go to get your own scripture and your own video. So I'm just going to go and get my background here. So I have this background we normally use for our church, so that as the scripture is displaying, we know where it's coming from. So if I click on display here, if I come back to theme, you see that it's already displayed on it and all of that. So let's go back to configuration. So if I want video to come in, I will just select browse, and then let me just use their default video because I don't have any animated video that will be used for scripture and all that. Now, mind you, this is dedicated for just Bible. You cannot bring in lyrics. You cannot bring in any other thing like the way you do multipurpose in Easy Worship. But that is not an issue because in our church, we use PowerPoint for any other thing, whether it is song or it is the pastor's sermon and all of that. We use PowerPoint, which we connect to our system and then to the video mixer. But we don't have video mixer. We're using vMix for all of that. So you can have this background. If I go back to theme now, you see when scripture displays on it, you see the animated video is moving and all of that. So let's go back to configure, and then if you have an NDI input, you have an NDI input that you are bringing and all of that, so you can use the NDI input. Let's say you are inputting something from another NDI to here, it can work. And then the gradient animation, so you can do a gradient and then it's going to animate for you directly and all of that. So I think that is that for that. You can, and then also don't forget, at any of these points you can also make the thickness. You can reduce the thickness. These are, you see how the thickness is going. You can reduce it. You can make it curve. You can also reduce brightness. You can increase brightness. You can just mix this whole background to suit whatever you want to do. So that's cool. You can just make a trial and all of that. So the next is the layout. I think you should leave the layout the way it is because everything should be the way it is. Just leave the layout. Please don't touch anything there. That's my recommendation. So on the text, you want to we have the text and the reference. We've matched them together, so don't forget. So this is going to be but if you go back on aspect and then we unmatch them, so when we come back to text now, you see that the both of them will have to work on them individually. All right, so but if we match them, we will do it just once. Whatever we do to the scripture will happen to the text as well. So if I make this to a bolder text, like maybe imprint, you see, but imprint is not that good. So if I make this into this is not a good text, so just select a good text that will work for you. I've forgotten the name of the text we normally use, but I've forgotten the text we normally use. Let me just look for any one that looks like it's nice for now. So you can change text. That's all I'm trying to say. Let me use Lotto. Lotto is okay. You can see the words of Christ are now in red. All of them you can see. Okay, the words of Christ are in red. So that emphasis now, if we put it, you should be able to make emphasis on it. All right. So let's change this text, please. I've forgotten the name of text I want to use, so let me see Roboto. Roboto is not good for these two. Honestly, I've forgotten which text to use. Let's go back and use the one that was there before for now, so that we could just move forward. Which one was even there? Oh. I see Monstrad now. Let's try Monstrad. But the Monstrad here is actually 100% white. Monstrad is not good for it. But which text was there now? This one that I... Okay, let's use this one for now, just to manage for now. Let's use this Anom. Or this Aku. Let's use this Aku. Alright, let's just use this Aku. So you can change text, but this is not good text for scripture and all that. So whatever you do to the verse will now affect the reference because they are now together. Alright? So that is that for that. And then let's go to team now. Let's say any team you see, we've changed a team already. So if you want to change any of them, you can just click on the asking whether you want to wish to continue with the previous one. You see, so I've changed it. Alright. So any text you want now will be changed until I go back to configure and say, okay, I still want my background to come back. So you see, or I want picture to overtake. You see, I've selected all of these things. I just scatter everything. Well, I can just click on reset, right? Okay. So, I have to import them again. Oh, wow. So let me import. So I've imported it again. So it's going to be here. So anytime you make a change, it's going to affect all of that. So now, if you want a lower, like, let the scripture be displayed at the down button, like the lower third. Let the scripture be somewhere here. All you need to do is to click on download, and then you see all these themes that is available. So you come and check through these themes, each collection. So if you check this collection, what's there, you see all that is in that collection and all of that. So each of the collection carries at least 25. So you will, this is 30, okay? So you check all of them and look at the collections that suit you. But for lower third is collection 6. I don't know if 7 has that. Let's check 7. 7 is back to normal. Let's check 8. Back to normal. 9. Back to normal. 10. Let's see. Let's check 13. So it's only collection 6. Let's see 5, if 5 has it. So it's only collection 6 that carries lower third. So these are all the ones that are available there. So all you need to do is to click on download, and then it will download them. It's going to download the 25, so it's downloading. Now once it downloads, you'll be able to choose and select and make it that way. Alright? So let's wait for it to download. Okay, so you can see that it has downloaded. Once I choose this, you see that I'm not going to save it. Once I choose this, see that it will come. Now, anyone I choose will be the one that the scripture will be displayed on. So let's go back to theme. Okay, we're already in theme. Let's go to okay. Let's go to reference now and let's pick Obadiah chapter 1 verse 17. So you see that it has it come up? Or it's still showing Matthew? So I need to click play. So it has shown. So you see anything I select and I click play, it will show. If I select now, it will show. If I select now, it will show. Alright? So no matter how the text, it is going to squeeze it and put it in between. And then also you can design your own, making sure it is like this. You can design yours and come to configure and bring it in as background under picture. Alright? So you can design and bring it in and then browse and bring it in. It's going to fit in and all of that. Okay? So you can also do that. Let me see if I can quickly make one. So using Photoshop, so I'm just going to make one, and let me see. Let me use A4, and then I'm going to change it. I'm just going to use A4, change it, and change this, and then leave it like that. Then select. Let me select here. Or let me select from up here. Let me make it like this. Okay? And then I'm going to fill it, or let me use this so that it automatically fills for me. And then I will I'm just going to cut this so that it will remain this. Alright? Okay, so now I'm going to bring in that background we already have there and put it to just fit in to this. Just want to do a sharp stuff so that you can also do it instead of saying we'll procrastinate it. So I'm going to spread it across this. Just want the commission logo to be on. So I have this. I'm just going to save it immediately so that we don't have to waste any effort. So save. I don't know if I even save it as PNG. I just saved anyway. So let's go back and check. Okay, so I'm going to go to picture, go to browse, and then it's in pictures, and it's in here, and it's in here. No, it's in here. Okay, so let's bring it in. Let's hope. Oh, shh. So we did it. we did it at A4. So we didn't really check the size well. I just did it wrong. But anyway, that's how you can. But you cannot really. So you have to take the measurement of what's there, and go and use the measurement. So that's another mistake. I just did something. This is A4, so So at the end of the day, I did a wrong work. No problem. So you cannot really. That's another thing. You can't really adjust it here. Not like okay. You can't really adjust it here. Yes, you can adjust it here. You can't really adjust it here. Yes, you can't. So that's another thing. So you need to take all the measurements and all of that. So let's remove this and just use the one that are there. So let's go back to theme and use the ones we have here for now. But you could do all of that. You see that scripture is actually displaying, but it's showing another background on top, which is not good, all right, which is not good. So just use this to cover up. So let's remove that one first. We need to remove it. So let's remove it. Let's remove it. Yes. Let's first change it to this, yes, before we come back to this. Let's come back to this. So automatically, yes. So this is how you can have a lower third as well to display scripture. Maybe pastor is preaching and then you've displayed board and then you just call it a reference scripture. You just put it there so that it can go, all right? So next is for us to look at, you want to have various verses. We only have King James here. I want to have various verses of versions of the Bible. So you just come to the Bible, which is the last thing. This preference, I normally don't touch anything here, but you can only switch to night mode and light mode, night mode and light mode. Okay, that's what I touch there, and then I don't know whether I touch. Okay, here you can make the text bold. Yes, which is another thing, but I don't touch much things here. Okay, so next is to come to Bible, and then any version of your choice. There are so many. Any version of the Bible you want, you just click on install. As you're clicking on install, they are installing. So you're clicking on install, they are installing. So you can install all of them, so that any version where they call, you feel just run them. Okay? See, I'm even installing a Dutch version, can you imagine? So any version of the Bible, it's available. So you just need to check the one that you need and click on installed. Okay? So just install the ones that you need. So see English versions here. There are several English versions here. So I'll just click install. I'm installing Amplify. I'm installing American version. As you click, see they are installing. And once it finishes installing, it will be added here. Alright? So once anyone finish, I don't know whether they have Pigeon. See the Message Bible. The Message Bible 2000, the Message Bible 2018. So I think there are various years as well. So once it is done installing, it will be up here. Okay. So you see now these are the ones that have been installed so far. King James needs update, and then this is King James 2000. So they have various version in their years and all of that. So you check before you installed. Alright, check before you install. So you know which year it's showing there and which year is not there. We have the New Living Bible, New Living Translation, and then we have several Bible verses. So anyone that you clicked will install for you. Now, this program is where you can add your texts. This program you can add your, like, if I click on it, I can add this to program. So you see, so I can add them. Both the program and autoplay are where they does virtually the same thing. So as I add here, it's also added here. So I can keep adding. If I add verse 2, like that, they will be added. If I add it here, it will be added. So it does the same thing and all of that. So you can add your schedule, just like we have schedule in Easy Worship. So this is more like the schedules. So you see that the Bible that have been installed, see all of them that have been installed so far. So you can see all of them. So all the Bibles are installed. You can also display more than one, but it does not work on this lower third until it is on the full on like this. Then you can be able to display 2 Bible. So get up and go to the great city of Nineveh, announce my judgment against it, because I have seen how wicked its people are. That's NLT. And then we have the NASB. Arise, go to Nineveh, the great city, and cry out against it, because their wickedness has come up before me. So you can display multiple versions of the Bible on this Bible show. So all of that can be done. And then let's say pastor made a reference. Let's say he just say, arise, go to Nineveh, and maybe he just quoted a place, or the word of the Lord came to Jonah, or let's say he just caught something. You say, okay, And every man, okay, say, and every man cried out to his gods, and they hurried out in their cargo. So let's say you have this, just read and then you just copy this, or you just search it under these search tabs here. So you see, it's already, as I select, it has come here. So if I click on search, it's going to locate it. Then the sailor became afraid, and every man cried out to his God, and they hauled the cargo which was in the ship into the sea to lighten it for them. But Jonah had gone below into the stern of the ship, had laid down, and fallen sound asleep. So this helps you to, there are some times that I used to wonder when senior pastor calls some verse that he's not sure of, and then the media and ICT quickly gets the scripture out. This is what they use. I used to think that they used to go online and search, because you can actually go online and search for just search what he said, and then you see the Bible. I thought maybe they'll not come and use easy worship, but this is what they use. Just have a part of the passage, and then boom, you'll be able to search and get the word. All right. So you can also include accent sensitivity, and then you can find whole words only, and then all of that. Use wildcard, all of that. So you can, if you click on result, you're going to see result. So I think this is basically, and then you also have this history and all of that. So this is basically how this whole software is used. And then we have the reference here, which contains all the Bible versions, and then the books, which contains all the books of the Bible. If you want the chapters and then the verse, so you can easily just select them here, which is easier. You don't really need to type. Just a Hebrew, you just do like this, bam, bam, like easy worship that you have to type, bam, bam. So at the end of the day, it gets you, and all of that. So this control, you can unfreeze and you can freeze. All right, so if you unfreeze, it gets out of this place. So if you click on show, it will show. So that's this is showing it. Then if you freeze now, it's showing. But if you unfreeze, it will not show. It will no longer. So things like that. So you just need to get all the terminologies used here. So this is where you control things, which if you are not interested for it. Now another thing is that if you are not interested in seeing a lot of random things here, now I don't need the control, so I remove the control. If you don't need the monitor, you remove the monitor. If you don't need the options, which is these are the options. So if you don't need it, you just remove it. Let's say you're done with settings, you just remove the option. You don't really need to do anything there. You can just remove the options. Now the program, if you don't need it, you remove it. If you don't need the autoplay, because they are basically doing the same thing. The autoplay and the program, they are basically doing the same thing, because even the configure is now inside the autoplay. So if you are not having anything to do, just remove it. If you don't need history, you remove it, And I believe what is most important is the reference. If you don't even need the browser, this browser is needed. So these are things that are really needed for any service, because you need the reference, you need the browser, you need the monitor, you need the program, and you need the search. So with this, you can easily have whatever you want to do, and then you can exit when you are done. So, and then you can seek help from here. It takes you to browser and explain some of the things that you are having difficulty in. Everything has been explained at their website. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the software is 100% free. So thank you for tuning in. And then from me, I say bye-bye as I exit. So see you in the next video.